The reality is that modern men are being pulled apart. The dichotomy that we're expected to live is unrealistic, and it is causing us to wreck ourselves. Let's get into it. Anyone new to the channel, my name is Casey, and I started this channel to try to promote a future of faith, fatherhood, and freedom in America, and part of that is looking at the ways that men are being pulled apart. I've been a therapist for 13 years, a father for 10, a husband for 11, and it is time for men to regain masculinity and their platform as the rightful patriarchs of their families and of society. The first way that I've felt personally as a man that I am being pulled in two directions is money versus presence. So I'm expected to make enough money to provide, and this can even be pre-marriage and pre-relationship, to provide for my position in the hierarchy and be able to show great potential, great ambition, and great competence. However, I'm also supposed to be as present as possible. And when I am physically present, I am expected to be emotionally prepared for all the ways to show up as a man and make my presence a good one, a solid one, and one that can be gentle, even though I'm feeling the weight and the pressure and the tension of attempting to build what I can out of a family structure, houses, bills paid, cars that run. All those things mean that money and presence are two ways that men are being pulled in two directions, and oftentimes we lose out on one of those.
Who else in the level car say yeah?
The second way is probably the most obvious one, and that is that we are expected to be gentle and caring and nurturing while being strong and dependable and reliable. This doesn't just come with physical strength, but we are especially expected to be emotionally soft and gentle, when in some cases a situation calls for masculine strength. And God forbid that there ever comes a time when that masculine strength is necessary, and instead we represent ourselves as the soft and gentle betas that we've been informed we are supposed to be by the entirety of society. And if you go to therapy or couples therapy and you engage with that, more than likely you are going to be told that you need to be present as a soft and gentle voice within the relationship, and you are supposed to be emotionally attuned. But when you're in an alley sometime and someone says something wrong to your girlfriend or your wife, you better be prepared to come with the strength. And if you've been whipped into being a beta up until that time, it will be very difficult to present with anything less than that beta energy when it's needed. The third way that modern men are being pulled in two directions is that we are supposed to be good with our hands, able to fix things, able to provide for a household in those ways and keep everything running. But we are also supposed to be strong with our mind. We are supposed to be competent, well-read. We are supposed to know what to do and when to do it when it comes to intellectual items. And so men are being asked to be strong with their hands, able to build, as well as being intellectually strong, able to think. And those two things oftentimes don't come in the same package or could not be accomplished at the same time.
If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
The next way that we are being pulled in two directions is that we are supposed to be fun, impulsive, and exciting, as well as being serious, not joking too often or about the wrong things, and not being in any way spicy or zesty in the ways that we present our own humor. So we are supposed to have, especially if we have children, be the fun dad. We are supposed to be able to get down on the floor and play with them. But we are also supposed to be serious and take things seriously. This is just another way, especially for fathers, that we're being pulled in two directions as men today.
Masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get?
Another way that we are receiving mixed signals from the society is that we are supposed to be strong physically. We are supposed to be able to lift heavy things. We are supposed to be able to defend ourselves and those around us, but we are not supposed to care too much what we look like. The dad bod is supposed to be attractive. We're supposed to be willing to engage with the dad bod because that means that we won't be too rigid. So we're asked to be strong without rigidity. Is that possible? The discipline that's necessary in order to be strong comes with some rigidity, but we are being asked to do both at once.
I say Hold up.
The next way
Wait a
is that we
minute.
are supposed to be co-participants in the care of the household while still being fully available for the children when we get home. So if you have children, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You are expected to give your partner a break. You are supposed to know that they're overstimulated and be able to engage successfully in caring for the children, but also you are supposed to actively participate with the chores and the household duties, and those things often one gets left in the dust. And for a lot of men, the struggle in modernity is our households suffer because both partners have to work in most households. God bless you if that's the case that they don't. And then the house ends up being a wreck because when you have a child or multiple children, it is impossible to keep things straight and to keep your kids on the straight and narrow at the same time.
I'll hear Jordan Peterson say this. I'll hear Mark Driscoll say this. I'll see all these people who are like sort of dyed-in-the-wool conservatives say, well, the world would be a better place. Men just need to man up and they need to take more responsibility. The problem is they don't have the authority to exercise that responsibility.
This one's going to seem petty, but men are expected to change diapers and change the world at the same time and often in the same day. I feel the weight and pressure of trying to do my best to help my clients change their lives, to help the social structures and the macro ways that my community, my church, and the community, my state writ large need me, as well as trying to fight for what's true, right, and beautiful in the vast ugliness of the internet, which happens, nearly every day. So while I'm expected to be good and competent at changing diapers, I'm also supposed to be intellectually available to change the systems in the world so that my kids can have a better future for tomorrow. And maybe this is a pressure that I put on myself, but I will not forego changing the diapers. But I also would not want to go into their adulthood saying I didn't try to change the world to make it better for them. We are supposed to be emotionally strong, able to take insults or incursions against our identity, but also be soft and gentle and tender when it comes to the emotional well-being of those around us, including our own children, which can be toddlers who are daughters who have very soft and gentle ways of dealing with their own emotional states. So I am expected to be strong when it comes to my own emotions, but gentle and able to have intuition about what my other very gentle children and my wife, who's very beautiful, I'm expected to know how to be soft with them and how to be strong with my own emotions. Don't get angry, because if you do, then you're being toxic, and it's supposed to be bad for everyone if you get angry, unless it's justified, which is like 1 in 1,000. But also, you need to be tender and gentle and merciful when it's called for. Now, I would never want to be overtly angry when it was unnecessary or uncalled for, but sometimes the masculine energy is required. That's why kids need a parental balance. That's why relationships have feminine and masculine energy. And if you're just simply asking men to be a repeat of your best girlfriend, you are not going to respect that man in the long run. And it's not going to be a good balance within your relationship. We are expected to be passionate and peacemakers. And I mean this on a societal front. We are expected to want to do the best we can to care for those in need and to provide peace and to be ones that promote peace, but we are also called to flip over tables when it's necessary, and we are expected to hold those energies in the same person at the same time, and when it's necessary, draw on one the passion and the other the peacemaker. And oftentimes you get one becomes imbalanced. You're going to get more passionate and less peacemaker on one front, or the other way around. Too many peacemakers. That's how we ended up in the society that we have right now, when too many people have just gone with the flow or believed what the media told them or believed what the government told them, and that's how we ended up here in the first place. Perhaps we were too peaceable for too long. These are a review of the expectations that are being placed on men nowadays, and they could be even more with those men that are pre-relationship or pre-long-term commitment with their partners. I want you guys to come into the comments and tell me what are the ways that you feel like you've been pulled apart as a man, because society expects us to be 2 things at once or maybe 20 things at once, and they reside on exact opposite sides of the scale, and it is simply too much. The modern man is crumbling, and the passing away of despair and the substance use issues and many of the divorces and other ways that they can't see their children have all been contributed to by this dichotomy that men cannot be all these things at once, but we can be fierce, we can be passionate, and perhaps the return of the strong gods, the return of the strong passions of modern man is exactly what we need to retake the systems and make the world a better place for our children and, quite frankly, for our partners and ourselves. If you can get anything out of this type of content, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate so much that 21-some-hundred people have turned into this Midwestern, midwit, middle-aged man who perhaps just has some opinions online. Thank you for watching.